Good afternoon, Texans. I am Todd Coley, and this is Texan Sports Minute. Been a hectic sports week this last week with NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs starting, as well as plenty going around in campus sports. On the show today, we have Texan baseball going 1-3 against Cameron at home, Texan softball splitting against TWU, Texan golf claiming their 7th consecutive LSC crown, Mavs dropping Game 1 in San Antonio, the Stars look to even the series against the Ducks, and the Rangers' late rally against the A's. In campus news, Tarleton Sports reports the Texan baseball team going 1-3 against the Cameron Aggies on Friday and Saturday. Friday's action had a doubleheader with scores of 1-0 and 5-4. In the first game, an Aggie home run in the 5th inning was enough to secure the win for Cameron as the Texans could not get their offense going. Robert Baker started the game for the Texans and only gave up that one run in his complete game effort, but the loss was pinned on him as the Texans could not give him any run support. Game 2 had Tarleton taking an early 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning, but by the 4th inning, Cameron had put up 2 runs of their own and led 2-1. By the 7th inning, it was 4-1, but in the 8th, Tarleton was able to make it a 1-run game. Cameron tacked on another run in the 9th for the final score of 5-4. Saturday didn't begin that well for the Texans as they lost their first game of the day by a score of 6-2. Tarleton opened the game in the first with a run, but by the 3rd inning, Cameron got their offense going and scored 4 over the 3rd and 4th innings. The Aggies added another 2 runs in the 6th, then the Texans scored 1 more in the 9th for the final score of 6-2. Game 2 was a pitcher's duel for 6 innings before the Texans could finally break it open with a 2-run effort in the 6th. The Texans scored 2 runs in the 7th and 9th innings as well, while Cameron could only muster a run in the 7th and 9th, which gave Tarleton the 6-2 victory. The Texans now travel to Canyon for a 3-game series against West Texas starting Friday. The Texans split with TWU last Thursday with an offensive showing in Game 1 that had the Texans on the wrong side of a 9-6 final score. The game started quiet with Texas women scoring 1 run in the 2nd, but in the bottom of the 3rd, Tarleton got on the board with 3 runs of their own. That lead would hold, and the Texans even got another run in the 5th, but in the 6th inning, the Texans gave up 5 runs to the Pioneers to put the score at 6-5. TWU then added 2 runs in the 7th, and Tarleton could only get 1 across the plate in the bottom of the 7th. The second game of the day had Erica Menchaca hitting a 3-run homer in the 6th to give the Texans a 5-3 lead. Then Kelsey Lotta drove in 2 more runs to give Tarleton the explosive 6-run 6th inning. The Pioneers could only get 2 in the 7th, and the Texans won with a final of 7-5. The Texans now head to Wichita Falls for a 3-game series against Midwestern State on Friday. This will be the last series before the Lone Star Conference tournament begins. The Texan golf team continued their winning ways, claiming their 7th straight LSC championship and their 8th in school history. The Texans had a combined score of 42 over, which was more than enough, blowing out West Texas A&M by 26 strokes. That 26-stroke margin is the 2nd largest in school history for the Texans at the LSC championships. The Texans now wait for the West Regional announcements, which are on Monday the 28th. The West Regional will be hosted by Dallas Baptist at Walnut Creek Country Club in Mansfield. In Texas sports news, the AP is reporting the Dallas Mavs letting a golden opportunity slip through their hands as they went cold in the 4th quarter against the Spurs and dropped Game 1 by a final of 90-85. Tim Duncan took back the hands of time and had a vintage 27-point scoring performance for the Spurs, helping San Antonio overcome their deficit, while Dallas went 5.5 minutes without scoring a basket. The game was set up for Dallas to take as the Spurs went only 3 for 17 on 3-pointers, and their bench scored an unusually low 23 points. The final 7 minutes saw the Spurs go on a 15-0 run against Dallas, and the Mavs could never get their offense together. Nowitzki was just 2 for 6 in the 4th quarter and only finished with 11 points on the game. The Mavs have another crack at stealing a road game tonight as the Spurs host the Mavs for Game 2 at 7 p.m. The Stars were able to get their first home playoff game since 2008 last night as they beat the number 1 seeded Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks took the first 2 games in Anaheim with 1-goal victories, but the Stars were able to turn the tables on the Ducks and really frustrate them in American Airlines Center. Kari Lehtonen stopped 37 shots on goal in an incredible display of athletic goaltending. The Stars scored a goal in each period for a 3-0 final. The Stars have gained confidence after playing close games in their first 2 and now completely shutting the Ducks down. The Stars have a chance to even the series up at 2 apiece tonight in Dallas. Puck drops at 7 p.m. The Texas Rangers won an exciting game against the rival Oakland A's as they rallied in the 9th inning for 2 runs to take a 5-4 victory from the A's. Luke Gregerson blew his 3rd save opportunity for the A's in the young season by giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. The Rangers are now 7-1 in their last 8 and have won 2 close games in Oakland. The Rangers are now a half game behind the A's for first place in the AL West, and the 2 teams play another game this afternoon, which will give the Rangers a chance to take the outright lead in the AL West. The Rangers have had some early injury issues, but have still managed to string together a nice beginning of the season, sitting at 13-8 currently. After wrapping up this series this afternoon, the Rangers will be heading to Seattle for a 3-game series against the Mariners. Well, Texans, that is sports for the last week. Great time to be a sports fan with MLB season fully rolling, NBA and NHL playoffs going on. Enjoy all the games. As always, follow me at Texan News Sports. And a big thank you to Katie Gibbs and Bethany Kyle for helping produce the show. Have a great week, Texans.